Hello, my name is Jade, and today we are going to be talking about Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare, the last book in the Infernal Devices trilogy. This one was so good. I can't decide whether this one or Clockwork Prince was my favourite. I gave them the same scores, but you can still have a favourite. These covers are just... okay, prettiest covers ever in the history, and look at them. This cover is my least favourite. It's just not as pretty. I mean, at first I was like, it doesn't have as many colours as the other two. But actually in some lightings it's bronze, in some lightings it's pink. It's probably that really annoying, hang on, lighting situation again that we had last time. Buy the American hardcover ones and you can look at them for yourself. Honestly, you will not regret it. They are so beautiful. My friend actually has these books already, but I'm so tempted just to buy her one of them in hardcover because it's so beautiful. Oh my god, did stuff go down? It's not prepared for it. I could really use with another book, and I'm not saying like I could use with another, well, I could use with another book, but I'm not saying it just for the sake that I love these books, although I do love these books, and that is probably one of the reasons why. But also, there's some pacing issues. I'll get into the spoiler section. I quickly want to run through the theories that I had before going into Clockwork Princess. These have been and gone. I read the book now like a week ago, so they're not current. I don't know if they're true or not. What I do know, but they're not like they were. So if you haven't read these two, Clockwork Angel and Clockwork Prince, go away now because you're gonna be spoiled. But don't worry if you haven't read Clockwork Princess yet, because I'm not gonna spoil that yet. So my theories. I didn't really have theories. I just had things I was thinking about. What is Tessa? So annoying that I needed to know, because I thought she was a warlock, and I was so dead set that she was a warlock. But she can't just be a warlock. Because you can have shape-changing warlocks, and I thought that was a really special thing, but it turns out it's not. You can actually have shape-changing warlocks. So what's so special about her? Apart from the fact that she doesn't have a mark, which isn't that special. What was with that fairy in the middle of the ball? I don't feel like that one was very well ended either in the actual, but I was coming up with all these plans that her mum was stolen by the fairies, because they said about how they steal a shadow hunter and a mundane and they swap them over, or they steal a fairy and a mundane and they swap them over, or a fairy and a shadow hunter and they swap them over, some kind of swapsies, and that she was friends with her mum or something. What was with that? I don't feel like that was explained, which leads me to think that she either forgot about it, which I really hope not, because Cassandra Clare doesn't really do that kind of stuff. She puts all these little cards in place, and they all come full circle. Everything will be resolved. So either she forgot about it, which I highly doubt, or it's going to come into place sooner or later, or I missed something. Starkweather, what was up with him? He's clearly connected somehow, and I could not figure out how. It's really, really, really frustrating me. And the whole Adele thing, she's also clearly linked in, but I couldn't figure out a way how these people were linked in, and it was really frustrating. City of Lost Souls, I can't remember this, but apparently there was loads of hints of a warlock, a female warlock, which leads us to believe Tessa. I didn't know Tessa during City of Lost Souls, so I wasn't looking at this. Don't know why I really said. And also it has been confirmed, or it had been confirmed, whatever, that she was in the end of City of Glass, when they had that big carnival thingamabobber at the end because it was celebrating, and Magda was talking to someone in a white dress. Apparently that was Tessa. So she wrote City of Glass and then decided she was going to tell the story about the Infernal Devices, and then decided she actually wants to link it back into the Mortal Instruments, and then wrote another 3 books. That's what I'm guessing. She's going to be in City of Heaven and Fire. This has been said. I read half the book and we still haven't seen her. They keep talking about her though. It's really annoying. And they keep saying Tessa. They keep saying Tessa. She needs to come in. I need to see her again. I miss her. The whole Fairchild thing. I can't remember when it was, but I think it was Clockwork Prince. And they said how Charlotte's a Fairchild. Her maiden name is Fairchild, and there was like revelations, like, well, what? And Henry has fiery red hair, so why? What? So we're led to believe that Charlotte's now pregnant, so they're gonna have these children. I just get answered with Jocelyn and Clare. I'm assuming. I can't see how that could not happen. Okay, we know what's happening. It's Cassandra Clare for crying out loud. Why are they not Brownwell? Because she married him. Why is that? What's gonna happen? If anything happens to Henry, he reminds me of Simon. If anything happens to Simon, it's I just no. Tessa's a Clockwork ain't. Why? Ooh. I'm pretty sure. I think it's City of Fallen Angels. I just scratched myself. They say that that it's in the fairy court place. What's the Queen doing with Tessa's Clockwork Angel now? Knowing what happens in Clockwork Princess, I can kind of piece it together, but it's still not really clear. Like, I'm still kind of like, what's she doing with that? Why? I don't feel comfortable with the necklace. And I know now that I know the secrets of the necklace, because I was so confused by the necklace, because it had a freaking life of its own. It was going around doing all this weird stuff. Oh. Now I know why it was doing all the weird stuff. So, if you just watch this, I hope I piqued your interest to read the third book. If you haven't read the third book, read the third book. It's a good book. I'm going to be talking about the third book now. Clockwork Princess. I really liked it. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I had one issue with it, and it's kind of a big issue, but other than that, I loved it. So, just considering that City of Glass is, other than these books, I give it an 8 out of 10. It's the highest I thought I'd ever give Cassandra Clare's books. You know, it's not that bad. I have trouble with Cassandra Clare's writing over all of it, so I can't. Writing style is a big part of the book. If the writing style is not easy to read, then the book's not easy to read. Non-spoilery section, over. It's over. It went so quick. I don't think I've ever read a trilogy, 3 books. I've read series, like one after the other, but I don't think I've ever read a trilogy, just one book and then the next, and then the next. Especially not in the time I read it. I read it in around 2 months-ish, give or take a week or 2. And that's quick for me, so it just went by way too fast. Oh, it's not okay. The opening scenes, they were promising opening scenes. When you read scenes like that in the beginning of the book, you know stuff's gonna go down. So it starts with Adele, and that was just so upsetting, and so many theories and so many questions, and I've already said at the beginning, like, what the hell is this whole thing? And felt so bad for Starkweather, because he had to go through that, and it's not fair on him, and I was really mean to him, but he doesn't really deserve it. He's trying his best. And then we had the whole when Jem and Will first meet, and oh, that was so adorable, and Will was being so horrible to Jem, and Jem was giving all these really snarky retorts, and oh my god. And they just bounced off each other, and there was instant chemistry. And their friendship, I think it's my favourite friendship ever, Will and Jem. Yes, because they were made for each other. Oh, look, I have notes. Clockwork Angel. CCD. No. She just really bugged me. So see, I can't give a letter home. You know it's against the law. Like, you care against the law. Shut up. Like, I honestly, he probably doesn't care against the law. But it's so annoying how she kept acting like you knew him and kept really bugging him, and then she was really bugging me, and they made up in the end, and yes, whatever. She reminded me so much of Clare. I hate Clare. Oh my god, I actually read that here. Clare Jr. The whole worm situation. Wow. I remember finding it so funny back in Clockwork when it turns out the demon box exists and that he had it, and he stopped his supply, and it's so funny. Okay, we're trying to explain it to him. He's a worm. I know that. You're not listening to me. He's a worm. The way I imagined him was like Jabba the Hutt from Star Wars, whatever he's called. Oh my god. I just couldn't imagine him as a giant worm, and he ate Tatiana, I would say. That reminds me of the Queen from Vampire Academy. It's Tatiana. I'm gonna stick with it. Gabriel's sister. He ate her husband, and that was really mean. And then Tatiana had the nerve to go tell Clave about Gabriel and Gideon. Why would you do it? They saved your life. Two brothers killed your father because he killed and ate your husband and threatened to eat more people. He was a giant worm, for crying out loud, practically a demon. The infernal devices are without pity. The infernal devices are without regret. The infernal devices are without number. The infernal devices will never stop coming. May God have mercy on our souls. I feel like one of the big issues here is not a lot of stuff actually happened. Like, I have loads to talk about, but not a lot actually happened. We had that whole worm situation. We had that beginning scene with it down on German Wales opening scene that set it all up, and then we had the worm situation. And then I feel like there was a bit of loafing, a bit of trying to figure things out, a bit of, you know, solving the mystery kind of time. And then there was a fight, and then Tessa got kidnapped, and then it was about Will trying to get to Tessa and the whole gem situation, and actually like what was happening with Tessa. And then Will got to Tessa, and then the rest of them managed to meet up, and then there was like the mini fight, and then there was the thing that happened at the end, and then there's Jem breaking off his ties, and it was everything concluding and matching up, and then there's the epilogue. And I feel like, compared to the epicness of TMI, this one doesn't have a lot of that. It's very slow, very paced out. Not a lot actually happens. It's very much about the characters more than what's going on. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just not quite as exciting as TMI. I never thought I'd say this. The whole Consul Wayland ordeal. When I read that first letter about them saying, yes, we want Charlotte Bramwell to be cancelled, like, yes, Charlotte Bramwell, great, I love her. Yes. And then he was like, no. And then he was sending back all these jerky letters like, no, I don't like her, I don't trust her, I cannot control her. Being incredibly sexist and rude. Just, oh. And then he got Gabriel and Gideon to kind of spy on her or whatever. Like they'll do that. When the Consul died at the end though, and Starkweather was laughing. Oh, I was laughing too. And I think Starkweather died actually, which is kind of depressing. After we found out the whole Starkweather blah, we find out what Tessa really is. So Tessa's mom was a shadow hunter. Now we know Adele. Adele wasn't actually their daughter, and Starkweather it turned out had guessed this and kind of hinted at this. They were like, no, I'll know my own daughter. I couldn't look that thing. No, I know my own daughter. Of course she's our child. Her eyes are grey. No, they went from grey to blue. And then she died when she had them on. Her body couldn't take it. She was too weak. She was a mundane. The actual child of the Starkweathers was Teresa's mom. I can't remember her name. I don't know if she had a name actually. But she never got marked. And so the reason in City of Fallen Angels that they all come out stillborn is because the Shadowhunters were marked. I can't remember why they're trying to create them in that series though. But in this series it creates Tessa. So she's half Shadowhunter, half demon. Her father was a demon that shape changed to look like her father. Now that you think about it, Teresa's father, you know, the one that married her mother, who wasn't actually her father, didn't actually have any kids because Teresa wasn't actually his kid, although that's what everyone thought, and Nathan wasn't actually his kid because he was Aunt Harriet's child. Now, the thing I'm confused, what was that fairy on about switching? Was it Mortman switched them? I'm pretty sure. Did he get the fairies to switch them now? And then how did that fairy become friends with her? Is that ever going to be explained, or did I miss something? I don't know. That's what I'm assuming. He also offered that Tessa can have the Starkweather last name. And I thought that was so cute. Oh my god, everything was just kind of clicked into place, everything made sense, everything was smoothed out, and it was so cool. I really kind of want her to have the Starkweather last name and be like, I'm a Starkweather. Because that's like, I feel so bad for Aloysius. I don't know, will she be, you know, in the new books, will she be a Herondale or will she be a Grey? Because she can't really be a Grey because, first off, that's her maiden name. Second off, it's not her actual maiden. No, that's what is actually her. No, it's not actually her maiden name. Because her maiden name would be technically the last name or whatever that demon dude is. I don't think they have last name. So then it would be her mother's last name, and her last name's actually Starkweather. So technically, Starkweather is her maiden name. Will she be a Herondale? But I don't know if she can be like proud enough and strong enough, you know, not remembering, and the whole with that clash, it's I need to know. Charlotte Bramwell. At the beginning of Clockwork Angel, I didn't like her. Towards the end, she was kind of like annoying, but I put up with her. Some point in Clockwork Prince, I stopped disliking her. And then in this book, my love for her really intensified. I love her, and she's really young. She's like 24 or something. She started running the institute when she was like 18 or something, and she is so strong. I used to think that she's really cold and she doesn't really show people, but that's because she's so strong, and I have so much respect for her, and I love her so much because she is really kind. And Sophie's always going on about how kind she is, and I was kind of, I didn't really see it, but she is so, and I love her so much. Cecily and Gabriel were really cute. And they were training, and she threw a knife and he was like 5, and then when they kissed, she was like 5. That was so cute, and how everyone's ended up together with someone, except for Jam. But the epilogue, so everyone ended up with someone, and everyone ended up happy. Oh my god, that's so cool. And then we're gonna have the Dark Artifices, and the last hours, and something's gonna go horribly wrong. Yay. When Gabriel wrote that letter, like, this is just after he and Cecily had this talk, and Council wanted him to make this letter saying all bad things about her. I can't remember why, or what the letter was actually about, and I can't remember. And he's like, yeah, I have to do it because I have to save my sister and I have to save my brother. And then he wrote this horrible letter, and so upset, and it was really horrible. Like, everything he wrote in there was actually really horrible, and I was so upset. Like, people trusted you, dude. I gave you a second chance. And then it was confession times at breakfast, and it turns out he never actually sent it. Oh, I was too happy. I cried with joy. He never sent it. I felt so proud of him. I was so incredibly happy. People kept holding their breaths. Gabriel did it. I think Cecily did it. Tessa does it like a bajillion times in this series. Everyone keeps holding their breath and then letting it out without realising it. Henry! But I love him so much. He invented the portal, for crying out loud, and the sensor. We knew he invented the sensor, and it turns out he's a really great, the portal, for they use it so easily, and they never really talk about it. Magnus was co-creator, I guess you could say, of the portal, and he just uses it all the time in TMI. He never brings that up. He never brings up anything of his past. I thought they were around and he just didn't use them. They were being all nerdy in the basement. It was so adorable and so sweet, and they just clicked and they just got each other. It was so nice to see someone finally get along with Henry and appreciate his inventions, because no one ever did. And then Magnus is just amazing. Oh, and at the end in the epilogue, the whole Paris thing and how he comforted her, and in World Wars, and it was really heartbreaking, and they were together, and Magnus and Tessa remained friends, and it turns out I think they're really good friends, because they keep hinting at her to Magnus and see her having fun, keep using her as excuses to make him feel guilty and stuff. I think what Tessa would say is like, you don't even know her, shut up. I know Magnus. What if, now this is crazy, you know how no one ever says who Magnus' dad is in TMI? We had to find out in this last book because it's been drawn out long enough. They can't not tell us. And what if, call me crazy, what if Tessa's demon father was the same demon father as Magnus? Now think about this reasonably. Someone said at some point in TMI, or in this one, that Magnus's father had a rather large estate on Hell or something, that was a big powerful man. At first it's like Satan, it was like, really, would he really be Satan? I don't think so. No. But then Mormon said to Tessa that her demon father was very powerful, and he was very well spoken, and he reminded me of like a Valentine in demon form, and he was powerful, and I don't think it was agreed. What if they were the same person? Because both of them have been well known and powerful. Mormon wouldn't give her all that much information, and Magnus hasn't given us any information. Think about it, they could have talked about it. That's why they were so close all these years, because it sounds like they were really close. It makes sense for them to be half brother and sister. That'd be so cool. I want that to happen so bad, because I love them both so much. That would be so amazing. The necklace, the ruby necklace, it turns out that it was something Magnus had made for Camille. She gave it back to him, and then he gave it to Jason. No, he gave it to Will, and Will gave it to Cecily, who passed it down the Lightwood line. How it ended up to Izzy. It's so cool how everything just clicks into place. Love it.